Greetings, fellow Crystal Gems. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And welcome to another personally fulfilling episode of Tiki's Universe, the show where we used to react live on air to each and every episode of Steven Universe. Damn you, YouTube! Damn you! All right, folks. Well, welcome back. It's good to be back talking about Steven Universe on the channel, but of course, we've got to address
Comes at a price.
Yeah, folks, YouTube is changing. What can I say? Like, it happened, it's happening, it's affecting the biggest YouTubers, it's affecting the small potatoes like us, it's affecting the fry bits like us, shall we say. So essentially what happened, folks, is back a few months ago, we got a copyright takedown for the most ridiculous of reasons that I still laugh at, Dragon. That the fact that we got a copyright takedown on the Everybody Loves Raymond video that we did for Haunted Holiday Hijinks last year. Still, for the life of me, cannot figure out why that was taken down. Dragon and I cannot remember using any audio from it. But point being, that was our first strike. The reason why we're not going to be able to do reactions, at least for the time being, is because of this. Yesterday, we got a second strike.
And most likely because the Steven bombs have returned. So now there's a lot more kind of scrutiny on any Steven Universe videos that are coming out or have been released, most likely.
And also that means that if we get a third strike, it's like, you're out. You know, It's like it's suspended indefinitely. Like, we might not even get a chance to have the channel back after that. So we don't want it to have to come to that, folks. And Dragon and I did weigh out the option of doing the reaction and just me having headphones in and just having, like, you know, like, you guys can't hear the audio. But I decided against that simply because I just feel like that would be a little disingenuous for us to continue the reactions and just not give you guys the full extent of the reaction. So in the meantime, we're just going to, at least until some of this copyright nonsense gets squared away, we're just going to go ahead and do this like we do all the other content here on Tiki's Universe.
Of course, like every other Tom, Dick, and Harry can have like a little box with the episode, but not us.
Well, you don't know how those channels do in terms of copyright standing either. Like, I don't know.
I'm just saying, it seems suspect.
Anyway, like I said, Dragon, this whole YouTube thing, it's out of control. It's like the Wild West all over again on YouTube. But, so point being, folks, just bear with us. We hope that you enjoy our illuminating conversations regardless about Steven Universe. It is back with a Steven bomb, yet another Steven bomb, so we're just going to get right into it with Lion 4, alternate ending. Like I said, we're going to just kind of talk through the episodes, much like we do every other series here, like Samurai Jack and Star vs. Force of Evil, Milo Murphy's Law, etc. So it shouldn't be too big of a change of pace for Tiki's Universe. All right, in the meantime, Dragon, shall we get to our song?
Yes.
We
are the Crystal
Gems.
We always save the day.
And if you think we can't, we'll
always find a way.
That's why the people
of this world
believe in
garnet,
amethyst,
and pearl,
and Steven. Okay. And Nora, yes, indeed. Okay, so folks, let's talk about Lion 4, alternate ending. Now, of course, Dragon, we had this title for quite a while. We thought it was going to be played like a week after the last episode, but then Cartoon Network was like, nope, we're going on a little hiatus. Too bad, so sad. So
luckily we were not. Luckily, they didn't do it before Tiger Philanthropist.
Oh, God. Oh, could you believe it? It's like Tiger Philanthropist is just like the guy with the dollar on the string. Like, yeah, $1? Nope, too late.
Well, remember, Tiki and I had that letter at the ready for Rebecca Sugar, that letter of disappointment at the ready, if that was pulled.
Okay, so Lion 4, alternate ending. And I gotta say, Dragon, as soon as the episode opens with the Rose tape, I'm like, oh, this is going to be big. This is going to be some big stuff. And you know what's interesting about that, Dragon, is I feel like that was very intentional to get the audience into that frame of mind, because that's Steven's frame of mind. Steven's frame of mind in the episode is, I want to uncover secrets about my mom. Like, of course, because, you know, keep in mind, we're coming at this show from, you know, all throughout season 4, Steven's had this arc of, you know, being very disillusioned with Rose and wanting to know his purpose and, you know, wanting to kind of figure out the type of person that Rose was beyond just like the, you know, the goddess like stature that people have elevated her towards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we get a lot of that sort of self-doubting. I like the him like writing the anagrams out of like the first letter of every sentence or something like that's in the video.
I biddy Asia.
Does that mean I should go to Asia again and bite something?
That was funny. I really do love the opening of kind of decoding the VHS tape, the famous VHS.
Mm-hmm, of course. In a way, I feel like it's kind of a fourth wall thing of like, yeah, fans have dissected this bit of footage to death over the years.
Oh yeah, yeah. Steven essentially is looking for you know, for his destiny and purpose, and yeah, we've built upon this. It's kind of Steven looking for answers, and you know, it's kind of a logical conclusion. Okay, he's going to look for all the evidence he can, and it's no one's going to help him out. He's doing it on his own.
Uh-huh. And
we have magical hairball destiny.
God, yes.
In the form of a key.
In the form of a key blade, Dragon. I believe it's a key blade from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, really?
No, not officially, but the design is very similar, though.
I mean, I thought of like the logic of a key blade. I guess, you know, it's.
I mean, it's not very sharp, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it would hurt if you hit someone with it. Like made of a metal of some kind, but it just seems like a very impractical weapon.
Fair enough.
I mean, honestly, if it has like one use, I mean, first of all, you have to be a locksmith, or like kind of someone to craft a lock for it. One specific lock somewhere in the world. This key is going to fit. Then you have to lug it around as a weapon. And what if you're going to get that? Anyway, let's not get hung up on key semantics any further.
No.
So, point is, we have a good old-fashioned key mystery, which is always fun.
You know what? It very much reminds me of playing a video game and like running around to all the different like places that could be unlocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had one of those recently. Not like, you know, last year recently with the Batman Telltale game. Joker gave you this mysterious key, and you had to figure out what it was. Right. I've been playing through Kirby, the Kirby game on 3DS. I think it's Kirby Triple Deluxe. And there's a lot of like key puzzles in that game, so it's on my mind. Real quick, guys, I recommend the Batman Telltale game they went out there if you want kind of a fresh take on Batman.
Telltale, man, they do good stuff.
Yep, I'm looking forward to the Guardians game at some point. It's out now. I'm just gonna bite.
Easily the best Walking Dead games that are out there.
That's only flaw with them, you gotta download. I hate the fact they can't just put it all in one thing. But anyway.
Right. Okay, let me address kind of like a little bit of a flaw with this episode, Dragon. It's not like a major issue, just kind of like a structural nitpick I have, if you will.
Yes.
It's a flaw that's much more pronounced in our least favorite episode of the series, which is Onion Gang. And that's that this like 90% of this episode is Steven talking to himself.
Yes.
Which I don't know, Dragon. Like that.
I'm with you. I'm glad I'm not alone in that. Because
no, you're not alone on that.
It's a little too expository.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think we need. I think we can kind of see the visual storytelling is kind of enough on this one. Where okay, he's looking for the. You'll need him announcing to line that he's looking for a key, or like he sees. Honestly, the only time he really should be talking about this is like when he reaches like, this is it, like. This is like it's Rose's garbage pile?
Sure. Yeah, it would have been more effective if it would have maybe, you know, like get the Better Call Saul editing team in there and put in some montages. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. That's like, I feel like that's a flaw of the show in general is that like when Steven's just by himself trying to figure something out, like they just tend to have him like have more dialogue than is really necessary for the scene to call for. Like I said, it's not a huge thing that like brings like obviously this episode is like this and Onion Gang. I mean, like Onion Gang makes this episode look like Sworn to the Sword. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, something to mention when we're in the desert. So we do go to the desert. I'm sorry, you.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So when we go to the desert, it's kind of fun how we reference the opening, all garnet, amethyst, and pearl.
I kind of laughed at that too until it got all serious. Like, you know, like they want me to be something, but I don't know how I can't be something. Like, you know, it starts out as a joke, like I'm thinking about garnet.
I gotta tell you though, I know it's like not every episode can be the same in this regard, but you know I really missed Pearl in this episode. I'm just saying, you know, they teased me with like a Pearl mentioned, like you know, and Pearl. Which I mean, okay, it's cute, but come on, man, I'm going through Pearl withdrawal here.
Oh God, right.
Come on. And even the next episode, no Pearl.
Yep. I was gonna say,
darn it.
Very light on the gem so far in this season.
He's dying of thirst. I'm dying of Pearl withdrawal.
Jeez.
Speaking of which,
oh wow,
so,
that got dark really fast.
So speaking of which, I do love they addressed the fact, you know, he was dying of thirst until you know he just got some water from Lime. I'm surprised he didn't do it while he was in the process of dying of thirst.
Right.
But again, so that was for when I was watching. It's the first time I was just kind of noting it, like always bring water. Luckily, again, water via Lime. I wonder if he has like a little fridge in Lime they can put it in, or like a little like a cooler of some, probably a cooler because you know. Well, then again, Greg's kind of loaded, so he can kind of afford a mini fridge. Where's the power source in Line? Anyway, sorry, Samantha. So,
do you want me to draw out a graph dragon?
Do we have the time?
No, we do not.
I'm kidding. So, let's see. So then, of course, the big reveal. So after we find what seems to be kind of a junk gathering of.
I like how frustrated Steven is in this moment too.
We find kind of Rose's kind of hidden away, kind of gem fort, and we find the Nora tape.
Now, Dragon, I don't know about you, but my first thought when I saw this tape was like, it was kind of earth-shattering to me because I thought, like, my first instinct was kind of like, I guess since we have Guardians 2 on the mind, that it was almost kind of like Rose was like an Ego, the Living Planet sort of situation where she was going around and having like super intimate relationships with like all kinds of different humans and having all kinds of different children.
Well, that's kind of a little too talky about Guardians 2, but someone.
We're not spoiling anything about the character.
All right.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I have to get a little bit into that but you know what I mean? Like that was kind of my initial reaction. I was like, oh God, oh, that's really dark. You know, like Rose she doesn't understand the concept of commitment. You know what I mean? As much as she adores Greg Universe, she just there's all these other things out there. And of course, fortunately, that fear was put to rest pretty quickly. But I don't know, Dre, I'm getting the sense that you didn't quite have that same sort of level of dread that I did when I saw that Nora tape. I
see your point. I didn't jump to the other children theory because again, you know, Rose kind of giving birth kind of literally ends her life. So it's kind of like it's like a oneer.
Yeah, but what if she like went around and you know, like got like a whole bunch of different babies? Like we don't know exactly how it works. You know what I mean?
That's true, but I had a much sillier just kind of thought when the scene happened.
Okay,
it's a very dumb reference. It's just again, don't get me wrong, man. I saw I was really intrigued by it. You know, two things. I had two very silly kind of moments with it. One, I loved the little detail that the tape was in is an actual VHS tape kind of cover. Yeah. It was we've all had it. It was the rainbow cover on the white, right, just kind of sleeve. And I just really love that detail. And then when I saw it said Nora on it, I was in the back of my mind. I was thinking of that the haunting Michael Ansara delivery. Nora. It happens.
God. Okay.
I'm just saying that was just kind of like the ink blot test of look how it pops into the mind with Nora.
Right.
Especially on a VHS tape, which of course VHS tape in Batman the Animated Series. But The point is, I do see what there was like a lot of intrigue and mystery with the Norte. The Norte was a really cool kind of little mystery build. Now I kind of pieced it together after the little instinctual gag there. That okay, this is the alternate ending that they're talking about. Then I kind of caught on when it was the minute it was popped in there. Okay, Nora was like a what if, and what if Steven was a girl? I don't think it's like superior or anything. I just think it's kind of logical conclusion.
No, okay, absolutely not. And I think this definitely raises some good social awareness issues here, Dragon. I feel like this is a good kind of like I said, I'm not trying to get soapbox with this, but I feel like the message of this episode it's a little bit of a trans message in a way, a little bit.
I really didn't get any of that.
With the whole like like it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, like you can change your name. I did. I don't know. I got a little bit of that. And the only reason I bring it up is just because, of course, this show's very well known for injecting stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
that's a fair point. I just personally didn't.
I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to like get on the soapbox. Like this is definitely what they were trying to do, and it's super progressive. Yeah.
The line was hilarious. Oh, my mom and my sister.
Oh, God. I gotta say, for a minute there, I was like really looking forward to meeting a Steven's sister character. I was like, oh my God, can she be voiced by Kristen Schaal? Please, can she be voiced by Kristen Schaal?
Yeah. Anyways. I think the message with the scene I kind of took from is that
I'm probably looking too much into it. Like I said, this is just a very socially aware show. So anytime it's like, anytime gender identity in general gets brought up, you kind of have to look a little into it.
Look, I'm saying I think I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that I think it's vague enough that you could interpret that, but it's not in the forefront, so I don't think that's the intent.
But that's kind of like how I feel like most of the stuff in the show gets handled. Like,
yeah, sure. You know what I mean? So, I mean, again, by all means, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we like something from someone who worked on the show or something saying, "Hey, this is what we were getting at." Like, oh, it makes all the sense in the world now.
Right.
I mean,
right.
We've had that before, of course. Kind of Smiley and stuff. So again, we've had revelations like that. So again, I wouldn't put me on the wrong possibility. Anyway, getting back to I really love the detail that Garnet couldn't even tell the
that was couldn't even
tell the gender. Kind of basically she couldn't see the possibility. She couldn't even see the possibilities given the future vision.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of a neat little cryptic thing. It's kind of like how this is kind of a weird comparison. It's kind of like how the Martian Manhunter can't read certain minds. It's kind of that mysterious part.
Right.
It's like, why wouldn't the power work? Something's a little fishy there. Something's a little interesting. So again, it's a little bit of a mystery element there. And the message that's being communicated as sometimes destiny, you can't figure out destiny. Sometimes there is no purpose. Sometimes just something happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, so of course, let's not forget, of course, Greg Universe. Greg makes an appearance in the episode. So Greg, he exposits kind of the Garnet story, and also just kind of, they play the tape, and there we learn the whole, basically it's, I really do love Steven's initial reaction to the whole, Nora instead of Steven. And then Greg kind of, deflates kind of the upsetness by bringing up, hey, no, just an alternative name, Stewball.
Right.
I gotta tell you though, an issue of the episode, I'm not holding this against it. I'm just saying I really wasn't like super thrilled with this one. It was okay. It was I know it sounds strange because it's a line.
No, it's fine, Dragon. I feel like this sentiment is kind of like eeping into Steven Universe in general. I feel like Steven Universe in general is producing a lot of okay episodes these days, and it's causing a lot of people to sort of worry and kind of tug at their collar a little bit.
Honestly, this one is the only time I'm really worried when that happens. Usually it just seems...
Because like I said, the episode starts with like, oh man, it's Rose's tape. It's going to be really big. And I think the goal of the episode, Dragon, like I kind of hinted at the beginning, the goal of the episode was maybe to get the audience in the mindset of Steven, like, hey, not all of this is going to be like a big reveal. You know what I mean? Like there's life to live and stuff small things to appreciate along the way.
I mean, let's be fair. I mean, the message here, basically the main thing I point this out because it's kind of an anticlimax we end on. We end on an anticlimax where it's, again, I think it's a problem personally, I think it's a problem when we, the audience, kind of go to Steven's resolution before he finishes it. We're okay.
Right.
Like, beyond the point of, like, we'll respect, like, could it go this way, could it go that way? It's like when we absolutely know, like, okay, well, it's a what if. And that's, of course, we got that from the title, like, the alternate ending. Okay, so this is the alternate ending to the tape, the alternate take to the tape, and we the audience kind of know where this is going. Absolutely, where there's no real new message, no new information, new sentiment to kind of. It's just kind of Steven playing catch up, which I think is a mistake. And I get it's a decent message they're putting out there. It's a decent message, and I think the anticlimax is absolutely intentional. Just saying, hey, not everything's going to be a mind blowing kind of like a bum ending. It's not going to be like a whole mind altering experience.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm just saying it's a choice they made, and they got to respect it. It's just it just didn't really thrill me. It's solid though. I mean, it's nothing wrong.
Yeah, I hear you. Like I feel like it's a solid thematic beginning to this Steven Bomb, but it's of course not the most it's no Super Watermelon Island. You know what I mean?
If it were me, I wouldn't have opened with this, but I don't fault them for opening with this. I would have opened it a little bit more. Basically, I like the mystery ending we're going to get with kind of our next one.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
it's interesting, I don't want to talk too much about the next one, Dragon, but you and I kind of have differing opinions. The next one, it's fun. It didn't really do a lot for me. I'm kind of going to struggle for things to talk about, so you'll kind of more have to take the lead on that one. But, like I said, this one I feel like was interesting just from kind of a structural point of view, putting us in the same mindset of Steven of wanting to get the answers. So I feel like it was, they were kind of playing around with the expectations of the audience, and it might have been a gamble that didn't necessarily pay off all that well.
Honestly, this one is highlighting a fear with Steven Universe. Less the okay thing, more the issue of what if we kind of run out of fodder with the Rose Steven kind of identity stuff.
Right.
And that's I never had that worry until this episode, to be honest, because this one, right off the bat, line 4 plus some Rose stuff, the tape being your opener. I'm not saying it needed to be like a wowing ending. I'm just saying it needed to. I don't know. This one, it sounds like this is kind of an ending to it. Basically, it sounds like we get
this. To put it simply, this is the first Rose-centric episode that hasn't just wowed us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. That's it. That's kind of it.
That's just kind of the brass tacks of it.
Because they might have shot their wad with the previous Rose episode was a big deal, and it was an awesome one.
Right.
The whole the big revelation. Kind of talking to the embodiment of the mother.
Of course, sure.
That was a big deal. I'm afraid they might have kind of. Of course, we have the birth. We still have that.
That's the trump card they're playing. Yeah.
And again, we kind of hinted at something. Again, we're hinting at some mysteries and connecting stuff to that. But again, we're not really.
Mm-hmm.
Not really there otherwise. I think it's a fear we should keep in mind, but not dread necessarily. Just saying, I hope that if we get another kind of Rose kind of pass thing, I hope we're gonna at least spice it up a little.
Okay. So, I guess that's about it, Dragon, unless you have any other parting thoughts.
Nope, it's okay.
Okay. So, folks, stay tuned until next time, because we are the Crystal Gems, and we'll always save the day, and if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world believe in Tiki,
Dragon,
and Steven, and Keyblades.
Yeah.
Greetings, fellow Crystal Gems. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And welcome to another anticlimactic episode of Tiki's Universe. Well, we hope it's not anticlimactic on your end.
Yeah, what are you opening it so negatively for?
I know, right? Well, because I don't know. But, so, folks, of course, if you watched our recap of Lion 4 alternate ending, we kind of wove a tale of woe about why we are not doing the reaction videos. Simply put, folks, we are on thin ice with YouTube. We had a second video takedown just a day ago where one of our Steven Universe videos was taken down for use of the audio, and simply put, folks, we don't want to risk having the whole channel suspended or taken down, and we don't want any more copyright strikes. And also, I figure just to keep it unified, because Tiki's Universe, like all the other Tiki's Universe stuff, like Star, Milo, Samurai Jack, etc., kind of use the same sort of talking points and recap format. So, look, the reaction stuff was really fun while it lasted. We got a lot of fun moments out of it. And I'm hoping that maybe once the channel is in better standing copyright-wise, we can get back to that. maybe in season 5.
All we need is the thumbs up. That's all we need from YouTube. We need the thumbs up from YouTube.
We just basically just need to not have 2 strikes to our name is what we need for that to happen. But in the meantime, folks, we hope you enjoy our Steven Universe content regardless. Of course, it is a Steven bomb this week, so there should be some big stuff coming, but Dragon, that big stuff was not in this episode, but we'll get into all of that. I mean, this episode, I don't know. It's funny because with Lion 4, I was more positive on it. And now I think you're going to be the more positive one on this episode. It's called Dug Out. So let's get right into it, Dragon, after a brief musical interlude, if you will. All right. We
are the Crystal
Gems.
We always save the day.
And if you think we can't, we'll
always find a way.
That's why the people
of this world
believe in
garnet,
amethyst,
and pearl,
and Steven. All right, I gotta say, Dragon, I am surprised that you didn't dislike this episode. I'll put it that way, because I don't know. Every time that Onion's involved, you seem to have pretty open opinions.
Well,
and that's kind of where I was at too. Like, I mean, look, I think Greg Maheshwaran, not Greg Maheshwaran, that'd be a twist.
That will be a twist. You lied to me.
I think Doug Maheshwaran is a fun character.
That's why you were in that van.
Of course, this isn't the first time we've seen him, but this is the first time he's been a focal point of an episode, so it's kind of a good, kind of character building episode for him. Having said that, Dragon, I don't know. I think this episode's just kind of ho-hum. I really do. There's really not anything special about this episode for me. It's pleasant. It's nice. Like, oh, hold on. Wow, I just realized we have the image from the other episode. There we go. Okay, it's pleasant.
Well,
it's
that
nice.
Is embarrassing.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I can fix it in post. Anyways, I don't know, Dragon. Like, I like Connie and Steven's dynamic as always. It's nice to see Connie in a big role here. I don't think this is nearly as strong as an episode as Nightmare Hospital was, though, which is kind of like the mirror episode to this in a lot of ways, because that was Mrs. Maheshwaran's big sort of character development episode.
Yeah, I disagree. I think this one was a lot of fun.
Okay.
A lot of fun, had a nice heart to it. But you're right. There's a lot of pleasantries, which I did enjoy. And not just for the sake of their pleasantries. I thought it was really nice. It was really sweet.
I just didn't really think the episode had all that much of a point to it beyond just like getting to know this guy a little bit more, which is fine. But
I think it's really funny. It's got a lot of really great one-liners.
All right. Well, I do like Steven and Connie's disguises. Like, Steven is basically what is it? Peter Pizzalopoulos. Basically, like
we have
Super Mario.
Yeah, then we have Veronica Cucamonga, who is
off-brand Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, for Connie Sandiego.
Connie Sandiego, yes.
But going into the episode, I do like how this is. I know Tiki has avoided watching the trailer, so he doesn't get spoiled. Really cool stuff. Oh my God, there's something that teased in that trailer. It's going to be, oh boy, I can't tell you, but it's thrilling, and it's going to be teased in some episodes. But
so you don't mind that this whole episode was basically just one big cock tease with an onion joke at the end? Because that's what my huge problem is with this episode.
Well, and to be fair, I mean, Onion's in peril, so I don't have any problems with that. So, get Onion in peril, and you know something bad's going to happen to him. So, yeah, that's why I don't have a problem with the
ending. I don't know. The ending really grinds my gears, Dragon. This is funny. Like, we're kind of having, like, very polar opposite opinions on some of these episodes, I think. Interesting conversation, though. I really didn't like the ending at all. I thought the ending was a big cop-out.
I don't know. Tiki, here's the baffling thing. I know since you brought it up in the previous episode briefly, I really have no idea where that's coming from. I don't see it it's a cop out. That's a huge kind of mystery tease of, oh my God, our big new characters have just appeared and they're absconding with some less good characters, and we know who they're working for, but still.
I mean, I'm not saying the reveal itself isn't cool. I'm just saying, like, this whole episode just kind of feels like it's just us twiddling our thumbs. Like, I don't get the point of this episode, like what we went through to get to this point. It's basically just Stephen and Connie and Mr. Maheshwaran just running around a carnival and shenanigans.
Let me circle back to the beginning, because I think there's a structure that'll pay off, and I think you might see what maybe. So our opening, which is what I was getting at with the trailer. The trailer starts like this. They pulled this clip. Basically, I think this ushers us into our new story that we're going to be telling with Steven Baum, which I really did like, and I think pays off the ending a little bit more. But again, we'll get to that as we go throughout. But we have Stephen and Connie essentially recapping the previous Steven Baum over bits, which is cute in itself. Just kind of recapping, like, oh yeah, all the crazy stuff, and Greg was in space.
I would love to buy Fry Bits at Universal Studios or something like that, like Fry Bits and Cookie Cats. Wouldn't that be great?
I would love a Cookie Cat. Really.
Seriously, if Universal Studios ever builds Beach City, like, we could have, like, the Fry Bits, we could have the pizzas, that'd be a great, like, there doesn't even need to be a ride. It could be just like a shopping and dining area.
Oh, seriously, if they made like a little Cookie Cat, like the thing Steven turned into a backpack with the Cookie Cats. Little mini Cookie Cat fridge.
Right.
That would be cool.
Anyways.
So first of all, I love the playing into the humor. So again, first of all, as I mentioned with the structure, and the structure is kind of a nice, kind of nonchalant way of saying, okay, well, we went through all that craziness, and now everything seems to be all kind of nice and passing. We're just going to get back kind of one of our seemingly filler episodes. Seemingly filler, but even if it's, again, I think we are developing character. The character we've seen very little to nothing from before.
You know what this episode kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the Mr. Smiley episodes with the Neil Gaiman doppelganger.
Yes, with what was it, Mr. Frowny?
Yeah, Mr. Frowny, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's like on its own, it's fine. It's good character stuff, but it's like, do we really need 10 minutes of this?
Well, I think it's somewhat lulling us into a false sense of security with that. It's like, okay, well, we're going to tell a story. It just seems like we're kind of starting it kind of casually, kind of your everyday kind of slice of life Steven Universe story. Like, okay, well, here's some characters and beats.
I guess structurally, maybe I wouldn't mind that ending so much if it was the ending to the first episode of a Steven Baum and not the second episode.
I think that's...
Does that make sense?
Yes, I think that's kind of what I'm getting at, Tiggy, is the fact that I think if you look at this as the start of the Steven Baum, it's stronger.
I hear that. I can understand your point.
It honestly reads to me that the previous episode is more like an epilogue to our Rose stuff, and this is kind of taking us into the Steven Baum.
Okay, yeah, no, you're very right about that, because this is kind of like, and that happens quite a bit with Steven Universe, where, like, we'll have like kind of like a wrap up of the season storyline, and then like the last few episodes of the season will kind of like get us into the next season stuff, like, and because like I said, the Rose stuff kind of started in late season 3 and carried on through most of season 4.
Yes, and from what I've seen, the Steven Baum, to my understanding, is going to continue through May, which will take us into season 5. It will take us into the next season.
Basically, what's going on with the schedule, at least right now, and keep in mind these things are always in flux.
Again, that's another confusing element.
Yeah, but what's going on right now is we're going to get one episode a day for the next, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
As per usual for Steven Baum. Mm-hmm. And then the last episode of the week is going to be the season finale. And then May 31st is when, according to Wiki, May 31st is when the next new episode comes on. Exactly. And it looks like we might get another sort of Summer of Steven thing, because according to Wikipedia, we have 2 episodes landing on May 31st and then another 2 landing on June 1st. So I don't know what's up with that.
Seemingly, it seems like we're going to go into season 5 at a certain point. That's what it seems to be.
Well, yeah, like I said, the episode that's airing on May 31st is season 5, episode 1.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think they're really great lines here. I'll admit it's not perfect. I will admit, because honestly, what we've had with Mr. Maheshwaran before, we've only had 2 gags with him. That's all we really got with his character, along with one kind of descriptive line from Connie. Connie's kind of likened her father to a cop, so we may have had a slight retcon. I don't know if he's previously been employed by the police and he's kind of doing the security job on the side to kind of make.
Well, I mean, if he's kind of a cop, I think a security officer is kind of a cop.
I'm saying
that's accurate.
I don't know if Connie said kind of a cop. I'm just making sense of that. I think she said he was a cop and they might have retroactively made him a security thing. I'm just trying to liken that to maybe what's. If there's any story in between that. The point is, we've gotten that. We've had 2 gags, one about him not being a good driver in the snow, which is hilarious. And of course, like the glimpses we've seen with him in Greg Universe, and when they all had the horrible fusion dinner together.
Of course, yeah.
The fusion dinner that went awry, I should say. So yeah, that's really all we've ever gotten with Mr. Maheshwaran. So here we get some development with him, and I know it's just kind of a blanket statement for the whole episode. The way we start off is he's wigging out Steven with the whole because he drives what looks like a cop car, which is his kind of a security vehicle. All the years of ordering off menu, the contentment they're hooking me. Just thinking, I think it's so cleverly written, it's so over the top in places. It just really cracks me up how Steven's overreacting to Mr. Maheshwaran kind of pulling rank here. And honestly, Mr. Maheshwaran seems a really likable father character.
He does, in
the vein of a Greg Universe type, which I'm very pleased by, because Mr. Maheshwaran just seemed to be kind of the uptight guy. We never really got to play with Mr. Maheshwaran. And
Jacob Weil and I talk about Milo Murphy's Law, and I must say the father on Milo Murphy's Law, Mr. Murphy, is kind of similar to Mr. Maheshwaran in a way. Like, he's just kind of like he's a very well-meaning guy who's also very clumsy and, sort of, gets into a lot of trouble. So
honestly, what Maheshwaran's characterization, oh, by the way, I want to speak to this. I found this out after this because I knew there's something familiar about Mr. Maheshwaran. The voice actor on him is someone I'm actually familiar with. It's Crispin Freeman, who was on Young Justice as Roy Harper and Speedy.
Okay.
Point is, really good voice actor. Sounds identical to Christopher Daniel Barnes. But that notwithstanding, another thing that really does for me this is I love the structure of we have kind of a security stakeout premise of the episode. It's like a fun little adventure of like, okay, so he allows the kids to go on a stakeout. Which is, again, it's not like an actual cop. Again, he's not an actual cop, but still, it's like he's just watching a fence. I mean, they could feasibly come along without there being any danger. Just need to tell, hey, don't go in there. That's really all he needs to do, and the kids will be there. It's the hangout. But he's going to oversell it because he wants to kind of live up to kind of the other awesome things that Steven's Guardians can do.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So of course, we will glimpse at Onion, that dirty low, that dirty law-breaking scumwad Onion,
loitering under a no loitering sign. Dragon, oh the humanity.
I hope he throws the book at him.
God.
Anyway, but yeah, see how I love. That's another thing I really like about Mr. Maheshwaran, where he's really giving Onion the business. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That is something we can all respect about him.
Way to go, Mr. M. So again, his overall Mr. Maheshwaran he's really fun. He's really a light guy. It makes like some fun jokes. And again, he seems like when we go on the stakeout, we have like the undercover gag. He's letting them put on kind of the evidence technically.
Right.
Of course, they develop the personas, and again, maybe it's like on a tasting why I really like this episode. We get some fun things like I love some good flashlight stuff, and we got a lot of really good flashlight stuff in this episode.
Yes, that is taste stuff, Dragon. Yes, it is. I mean, it'd kind of be like if Steven Universe had like a Polynesia themed episode, I'd be like, this is my kind of episode.
I'm just saying, usually in kind of your procedurals or your cop stuff, I love when we kind of pull out the flashlight. Also in Batman Animators, whenever we get cool lighting with flashlight stuff. I don't know, it was just kind of like, and also I guess it plays just in terms of the connected to the security guard thing. It makes it really appropriate. Is at night the museum, they always love arming him with the flashlight. He used it like a gun. It was hilarious.
Right.
In all the movies, it just kept getting not worse. It kept getting better and better. How he kept just using it as like a handy weapon was awesome. And I love how we treat it like his gun here. Or my favorite bit is when he reloads it with the batteries, like it's clipped with his gun. I love that. So again, I just love this kind of this PI stakeout vibe because we have this PI music cue of like like a private eye sort of like so it's like we're teasing the real mystery of the season with a fake mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, I love just how professional Mayushwar is being. While he's still kind of making a fun time, but he's still really taking the job real serious. He's kind of like going into the whole. He's a good he has really good lines like a good guard only needs a flashlight, which is an accurate statement because you're a really good guard. You don't need a gun. You can just talk people down and just kind of tell them they're going to respect.
I'm pretty sure that's actually an accurate statement. Is that guards only are issued flashlights?
Well, true. Well, sometimes mace.
I guess it depends on the actual place.
I mean, guards technically are allowed guns, but they have to be signed.
I'm pretty sure the deal is that the flashlights can also double as nightsticks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So of course, this last thing on the flashlight, I think just gonna finish out the gags with the flash. We have the laws of physics gags. We have again. I love this. The PI vibe.
I'm curious, Dragon. Have you ever been in one of those Gravitron things?
No, I have not.
Those things are really fun as a kid because you can kind of climb on the walls and stuff. But then when you're an adult and I'm 6'2", and then you get stuck to the wall. It's just this is really unpleasant.
I gotta tell you though, thought that crossed my mind, a fight scene in one of these things would be amazing.
Get on it, MCU. Get on it.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man. Let's put in Spider-Man: Homecoming, and he can stick to the walls as they're spinning.
Right. Okay.
Oh, I'm telling you, there's the I'm dying for. Spider-Man versus the Scorpion. Let's do it at Coney Island. Let's put him in one of the stupid Gravitron things. Let's do it.
All right.
I'm dying for the Scorpion. Let's have him played by Bradley Cooper. Come on.
Oh, I don't know about Bradley Cooper. I don't know about taking on two MCU characters.
Josh Brolin, come on!
Josh Brolin is Thanos.
And?
Again, two MCU characters. That doesn't help the Bradley Cooper thing.
I'm saying multiple Marvel characters, Thanos and Cable.
Yes, but we're already cross-pollinating enough. That's my point. Anyways, we're... Tangent.
Okay. Anyway, getting back to we have the laws of physics gag where he throws the. It would have been a really awesome moment if that flashlight actually connected and hit the button. It really would. That would have one of all those awesome points.
Right.
The laws of physics baffle me. It flings him right in the face too. I mean, I don't get things a beating here, and we have the. I'm gonna throw it at an angle. We have some fun absurdities. The fact that he knows he's trying to play it so serious, trying to make his job sound the most exciting thing on the earth. And that plays into the format. I'm really digging where again it's like a PI thing of someone's broken into an amusement park and kind of an abandoned amusement park. It's kind of a really cool old school setting.
It kind of reminds me of Scooby Doo.
That's what I'm saying. It's very kind of Scooby Doo-esque, but with kind of a PI edge to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hitting those.
I mean, I agree with all your points. I just, like I said, I still think the episode just kind of meanders around a little bit. It doesn't. I think the reason why I prefer Lion 4 over this episode is just because I feel like Lion 4 has something to say, and this episode is just kind of all right, it's silly and funny.
Here's the difference, though, Tiki. The thing that Lion 4 is saying, I've heard before. Or at least I've heard before, or I don't really need to hear it. So it's very obvious. Here, at least I'm having more fun with this one. We have great lines delivered so jokingly and serious. Where, you're destroying the sanctity of this land of fun.
I mean, yeah, it's. I don't know, Dragon. I do like this. This might be one of the biggest disagreements we've had on a Steven Universe episode because I watched it twice, and yeah, what you're saying is all true. It is all fun, but. Again, I don't know. With something like Steven Universe, I'm looking for a little bit more substance. I don't know.
Now, of course, you have the flying pursuit where Steven's flying, carrying Connie, and then, of course, just getting to the end here. Of course, the big reveal that Onion was seeming. I still say seemingly because I think a few of those things might have been not Onion. But we have Onion is cornered into an alley, and I just wrote my notes underlined and all that stuff. I knew it, you mother! Kick him, Maheshwaran. You're so much taller. Kick him. Seriously, I did write kick him with 3 exclamation points.
Oh God.
Seriously, I just love this. See how tiny Onion was in comparison to Mr. Maheshwaran.
Right.
Just punching him like a football. Would have made that would have changed your tune, I bet. But
if they did the Charlie Brown gag with Onion.
No, but he actually have to kick him.
Yes, exactly. Except he actually does kick the football.
Okay, but onion abuse aside. So Mr. Mayshore, so yeah, I really do love just kind of this nice father-daughter moment. It's kind of a great Father's Day thing there, if they could have timed it right. But, we have just kind of Mr. Mayshore just feeling inadequate to kind of all the amazing stuff that kind of the Crystal Gems are doing, without just, just highlighting purely the Crystal Gems. In comparison there, she's always hanging with
Yeah, he even compares his wife, how his wife is saving people's lives at the hospital.
Yeah, it just says, he's just tired of being thought of as, silly old dad.
And just the guy who, yells at loitering teenagers.
In this case, onions. But yes, loitering teenagers. And I thought it was such an awe moment of kind of something really reassuring to him. She says, yeah, I mean, I don't need super serious or scary stuff. Basically, I don't need end of the world type stuff every day. Having my silly old dad, it's a nice comfort to have. Which is, he said, oh, you're a keeper, Veronica. Comanche?
Yeah.
Wait, was it? Cucamacha.
Yeah.
Right. And last thing I want to say about Miss Mayshore before I forget, before we just get to the big cliffhanger, is that I think the best way to describe him, I think I'm digging about his character, is the fact that he's sort of it's like kind of the silly dad characters we've had in Dexter's Lab, but they're more self-aware.
I can see that, yeah. And I feel like the show in general is kind of an extension of that sort of 90s TV show vibe with deeper character complexities, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would fit right in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, of course, we have their big ending, which includes the so basically as they kind of let Onion off the hook, and Onion's saying no, and he's pointing to the destroyed fence. I'm thinking the destroyed fence. I don't think Onion could have done that.
I don't think so either. Yeah,
I think that's
definitely whoever these people are. Yeah.
So yes, we have mystery gems at the end.
Mystery gems.
Basically, as our guys
not
go,
just infinity gems, mystery gems.
So as our guys leave, they let him off the hook. As daybreak starts, kind of still really shadowy, kind of in the morning. We turn around, and thankfully, we're not just going to let Onion off the hook. We're going to torture him.
Oh God!
He is.
The next episode is just going to be like a 10-minute snuff episode with Onion.
Oh no. Just lock him away for 1,000,000 years. But no, basically these two gems are going to be important and most likely really creepy. My assumption is that Yellow Diamond sent these to collect more humans, which would be why we're going to have disappearing characters.
We have the names for the gems if you want to know them.
We don't know them yet, so let's not.
I have them on Wikipedia, but okay. I have the plot summaries for these next 3 episodes, Dragon, and they would be very helpful for speculation, but at the same time, I feel like they're a little spoilery.
Yeah, let's. Here's the thing that people should also know: these episodes, at least for the next couple ones, they have been made available online, and of course we have not watched them yet.
I'm glad you brought that up.
So that's why there's some
spoilers. I think actually.
Yeah, honestly, would have liked to know that, but. Wouldn't really make a difference, I guess, in the long run. So
I make a kind of a, what is the word? A
point?
No, oh God, I'm having a brain fart here. Jesus.
And it stinks to high heaven.
I know. It's let's say a point. Sure, I make it a point to not do episodes before they actually air.
Yes.
All right.
So again, the point is we have kind of a neat little mystery gem, and one's all blocky, and one has kind of these bubbly wings, and most likely disciples of Yellow Diamond to kind of cheer up Blue Diamond by kidnapping more humans for the complete, Pink Diamonds.
I gotta say, Dragon, I don't know how to speculate on this stuff without getting into the stuff that's in the episode summaries. That's going to be difficult for me.
Well, I mean, I was hoping. Give me titles. Give me titles, man.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you the title and the summary for the next episode because the summary isn't spoilery. It's just the summaries for 24 and 25 that are spoilery.
Okay.
Next episode actually has me worried that it's just going to be another filler episode. It's called The Good Lars, and the premise is. The cool kids invite Steven, Lars, and Sadie to a potluck. Steven and Sadie encourage Lars to bake a cake for the party, but Lars is insecure about revealing his baking skill. Now, doesn't that just sound like a fun time, Dragon? I'm being sarcastic.
I tell you, I think we're going to keep seeing this kind of this mystery thing. I'm going to hope that the episode's entertaining, so that when this does happen, we're going to. I hope we're at least building something.
Or this could be like part of the infamous Steven Universe pattern of just like a really mundane sounding episode, just having like a super intense ending or something like that.
That's the thing. I think that's what we might be heading for. I think there's just the taste of it at the end here of, okay, well, we're going to end on kind of an ominous note. No star, no nothing.
Well, unfortunately, Dragon, like I said, I do have the plot summaries, and I basically know what happens. Like, I don't know how it plays out, but I know, I pretty much know what the cliffhanger is going to be for episode 23. So I won't tell it to you, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, I think that's kind of a direction to go. We're abducting people from Beach City, and I think eventually we're gonna investigate that. And I hope we don't keep stringing the crystal gems along, namely Pearl. I hope we get Pearl soon.
I know, right? That's another thing that kind of worries me is the fact that
as much as I did enjoy this episode, I still would have really enjoyed it far more if we had just a little taste of Pearl.
Dragon, let me just the gems actually don't get mentioned in plot summaries until the season finale. So it's actually possible that we don't see any of the gems until Friday. All right. Well, folks, as Dragon said, we're going to go through these episodes, kind of talk through them piece by piece, so we're not going to skip ahead. So we'll be back tomorrow night to do the Good Lars. I guess, maybe not. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out.
Time's a relative thing.
Yes, it is. But in the meantime, Dragon, any final thoughts on this?
Again, just the final thoughts. Again, I think it's a fun, funny episode. It's again, believe it or not, Onion. Thankfully, he's ends up receiving a punishment, so that's always kind of fun. Yeah. Again, it's just I think this is a good setup for the season. I think it's a better setup for what we're doing this next Steven Bomb versus kind of the epilogue we had last time. It's nice to get to know Mr. Mayshorn a little bit. It was fun. We had a little bit of depth with him, a little bit of some good old Connie. So it was a pleasant episode that had some really good one-liners and some fun stuff. It may not grab everyone, but it grabbed me. I like it.
Okay. Well, folks, we really do hope you're enjoying the new format and that you're not missing the reaction videos too much. We hope that, at least in this way, Dragon, I feel like we can at least talk about the episodes a little bit more thoroughly than we used to and not have that whole awkward, like, hey, let's talk about last week's episode before we talk about this week's episode. You know what I mean? Like, there's some give and take with this new format that I think we're going to work out.
Hey, remember when we forgot to mention the pink diamond reveal? Remember that?
Exactly. So, okay, folks. But in the meantime, stay tuned. And we are the Crystal Gems. We'll always save the day. And if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world believe in Tiki,
Dragon,
and Steven. And Pete the Pizzeria. Mamma mia. I know that's not.
Pizzapopolis.
Peter Pizzapopolis. I don't know. I just watched that.
Connie San Diego.